Hey friends, Mike and Jess here.
And welcome to Regeneration Nation TV. We just got done watching the 160 mile per hour acrobatics of sidecar racing from Insider Cars. Never in my life. What? Jeez.
Yeah, well, we've got links for this original video. This is crazy. We're just going to get into this. Go support the original video. And let's get into this.
Let's do it.
No.
160.
Ain't
It's
no
unlike
way.
any motorsport you've ever seen. Sidecar racing involves two people operating a three-wheeled motorcycle
Oh
that can
my
go over
gosh.
160 miles per hour. While one person sits behind the throttle and brake, the other uses nothing but their body weight to help steer the vehicle.
No
This
way,
requires a degree
dude.
of acrobatics you don't often see in motorsports.
No, not at all.
Oh my gosh.
They're
Teams
completely
race at circuits
vulnerable.
worldwide, including the Mount Everest of motorcycle racing, the Isle of Man Tourist Trophy races. As expected, there are plenty of ugly crashes.
Oh no.
Since
no.
2000, 10 sidecar racers have been killed during different stages of the competition. Most people associate sidecars with the campy, even cartoonish bubbles that attach
Yeah.
to motorcycles.
Yeah.
But the machines used for sport are nothing to smirk at.
No.
These vehicles are built to be high-powered, single units, and look more like futuristic three-wheeled motorbikes. But they handle much differently because of their asymmetrical wheel setup, which changes the vehicle's balance completely. That's why, unlike motorcycles, they're equipped with wide racing slicks that resemble the tires you'd find on a Formula One race car. With these tires, and the massive car brakes on all three wheels, they can outbrake almost any superbike and achieve far more grip when navigating corners. But with such an
I've
awkward
never
shape,
even seen a sidecar that looks like that.
This is so crazy. It's very futuristic looking, and like the fact that they are moving on this thing, this vehicle, going 160 miles per hour, and they are moving their body
Yeah.
to change the weight.
Yeah.
That is the most adrenaline rushing thing that you could ever do, I feel like. What in the
Dude,
world?
that
And those
person-
tires are intriguing to me because all the tires that we've seen, they look like they have no traction on them at all. They look very slick, but it's probably after.
It's like, it's hard to, you guys will do a better job at me because
Yeah,
I've only been to a
explain that
few
to me.
drag races.
Yeah.
But those tires are actually way more grippy
Okay.
than a normal tire, but they don't last as long. They're
Yeah.
like meant just to drag race, just be very grippy. Yeah, I'm gonna explain it terribly because I'm
Yeah.
not an expert in this field. or
Comment
anything.
section, help
I've
us
had
out.
drag racing tires and like tires like that explained to me very vaguely, and like one time ever
Okay.
when I was a teenager.
Yeah,
going
I've never
to
seen
drag
that before.
races. But yeah, they're actually very grippy.
Okay.
it's not enough for drivers to optimize their lap time without flipping off the track.
Oh
In
my
this sport,
god.
the
Jeez,
key to
dude.
success lies with the passenger. In sidecar racing, there's no room for fear when you're riding shotgun.
No.
These competitors don't have time to coast,
My
or even
gosh.
really a seat to kick back in. Their sidecar is nothing but a handle to grasp and a platform to kneel on when they aren't hanging their body off one side of the bike or the other. The passenger has one crucial role: to stabilize the vehicle.
Oh
That's necessary
my
because of the
gosh.
imbalance that the third wheel creates when turning. This means climbing up behind the driver on a right turn to keep the weight on the
What?
inside tires, or hanging so far off the bike on a left-hander that their back almost scrapes the pavement.
Oh my!
This is all done while clutching onto handles placed strategically throughout the vehicle. Things can get chaotic for the passenger
Oh,
quickly, depending
no.
on how difficult the track is.
God,
On a
that
fast
hit him
straightaway,
right on
they may
the
be
top of the
forced to
head.
duck as low as possible to minimize the aerodynamic drag on the bike. Seconds later, the team could be coming to a tight corner, forcing the passenger to pop into a different position to ensure the bike stays planted. This dynamic of a driver relying on their teammates' shifting body weight to safely navigate racetracks requires an enormous amount of trust from both parties. The driver has to trust that the passenger will be where they need them to be at exactly the right moment, and the passenger has to trust the driver to navigate the track as skillfully and as safely as possible.
Yeah.
But even for skilled racers, things don't always go to
No!
plan. This is especially true at the Isle of Man. The 38-mile-long circuit boasts over 200 turns and little to no runoff spaces, and has been home to some of the motorsport's ugliest crashes.
Oh
In
my
2022's
gosh.
Isle of Man TT, 3 sidecar racers were killed in crashes,
No.
including a father and son team.
No.
Frequent tragedies like this are why many of the riders hug their loved ones before even taking so much as a practice lap at the Isle of Man.
Oh my gosh.
Every type of motorsport, from stock cars to superbike
God
racing,
dang.
involves some degree of risk. But only sidecar racing features 2 people relying on one another's every movement to keep from veering off the track.
Oh
This
my
symbiotic
gosh.
relationship is what sets the sport apart, and what ultimately can be
Oh
the
my
difference between
gosh.
triumph and tragedy.
Man. Oh, no, I don't want to see it.
Oh.
Bro. The only sidecars I've ever seen is like Batman and Robin back in the day. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Okay, well,
I'm still just
wow, that is a
amazed
whole
that this
nother
is-
level. That was insane, man.
This is crazy that this exists. I've never even seen anything like this. I've obviously seen sidecar vehicles, but to this extent, my mind is absolutely blown. And the more and more we were seeing pictures of it, the more and more I was still being shocked by it. I wasn't getting used to it at all. Like the more that I was seeing, my mind wasn't being like, okay, this is normal. It was still like, this isn't normal to me. This is terrifying. Like,
I mean, as somebody who loves like wakeboarding and tubing and just like skiing and just skateboarding and things like that, like it would be very fun to a certain extent, but man, like going and riding in that cart and grabbing onto that handle and you're feeling the G's pull you as you're pulling this way and you're fighting against the turns, and I mean it would be insanely fun, I'm sure, but it is so risky, dude.
Very
Everything I just
risky.
mentioned, you're on water.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess skateboarding not, but you're nowhere near these speeds or
Yeah.
anything like that.
no.
And I mean, I've broken my wrist skateboarding. Is the worst that's ever happened to me. But man, the injuries that you could sustain doing this make it so much scarier, and it increases the adrenaline that's involved to an insane amount.
Your
I
body
can't
has
even
to be-
imagine.
Can you even get used to that? Like, there's people that are doing
Yeah,
this
you
for a
get used to
sport,
it.
so you can get used to that, like adrenaline pumping through your. Like, I'm sure the first couple of times it goes through, and then you're shot at the end of the race. Like when you survived
Become
it
an
first
adrenaline
of all.
junkie because you can't find a high like that from
Yeah.
doing anything else
That's
but
where
that.
the term comes from. That makes sense to me because like there's something that there. What comes up like above that? Like what do you do after that? Like your body's so. What?
You get a dirt bike at 2 years old, and then you at 4 years old you've got a full-grown dirt bike, a little mini, and
Yeah.
then at 10 you've got your full-grown dirt bike, and then you're racing this and doing that, and by the time you hit 20, dude, it's
You're
like
sidecar racing.
you're sidecar racing because
the
there's
passenger.
nothing that can get you pumped up like that.
Oh, even talking about it is making me lose my breath. I'm just going back to those shots that I just saw. Like, that makes me lose my breath. I am so terrified of that. I am not an adrenaline junkie by any means. Like, roller coasters
She's
are
not.
the most that I would ever
not.
do. And I'm not talking about the slingshot ones or the ones that go high up in the air. I ain't doing those. I'm talking about the ones that just maybe coast up here and then you go down. Even those terrify me. Like, I couldn't imagine risking my life and doing this
Yeah.
kind of sport. But the reward from it makes me like realize a little bit why people do what they do. And
man.
there's people out there that search for things like this, and they get excited about things like this, and they don't have any fear in them. Like, you can't have any fear.
Sure, you
If you're
still
the
have fear,
passenger
but
in
man,
here,
it's just like
you're good at pushing it aside because
Yeah, I mean it's like you come to this mindset of like, I don't want to sit around and watch YouTube or TV all day. I don't want to sit around and just do a normal day-to-day things that my parents grew up doing, or
Yeah.
like I want to live a life, even if I live half the age of my parents, I want to live a life worth living, you know.
This is
I
definitely
feel like that's the
living.
mindset that they take, just like I'm going to get out there and I'm going to put my life at risk to feel alive,
Yeah.
to more than most people walking this planet feel, you
Yeah.
know. And it's I mean, it's admirable.
Yeah.
You know, it's
That's
crazy.
something huge that you can take with you. Yeah, even if you don't live an entire lifespan of what your brother or your sister or your mom or your dad did, you definitely can go with knowing that you lived your life to its full potential. Like you did something that nobody else will ever do. Like ever even half experience. Like that's crazy.
My brother's a huge adrenaline junkie. I don't want him to know about this.
Yeah.
He tries to talk me into the craziest stuff.
He would
and the
try
fact that this
this.
is a 2-person thing, he would definitely.
He would definitely try this.
He would
This is
try to get
terrifying.
me involved in it as well.
Yeah, so he can't know about this.
Don't send this to my
I'm
brother.
gonna say, can't believe you're putting this on our channel. He's gonna see it.
Hopefully he doesn't. He doesn't watch all the videos, okay? Dude literally owns a gym with adrenaline in the name, so can't be letting him find this out or else he'll be dragging me into it,
No,
okay?
and I'm not doing it.
Yeah. No.
I'm not letting you do it. I'm putting my foot down.
Dude. Anyways, there was a few videos that we were sent on the sidecar racing, or we were actually not sent any videos. We were asked to react to some sidecar racing, so hopefully we got the right one. If not, just let us know the title of one or anything like that. We'll against our will, we will react to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how we got down this road, dude, but we're here now.
On to the next.
We're here now. All right, friends. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye, friends.
Peace.
I'm not scared of your love, so show me